morning, Misfits! It is to a Thursday on The Daily Breakdown. I am your host, Zach Bonfilio, aka The Misfit Patriot. Welcome to the LFA Family Hope. River Rat, Bashful Ninja, Mrs. Mocha Powered. I always mess that up. Kit Kat Mar, Kimberly K, Moose for Trump, C. Michaels, Bumba, Funman, and Roadrunner 513. How's everybody doing today? Okie dokie, let's go. Wrong screen. Do that all the time. Boom. Margin of error. We're going to do something today that we probably should do more, but I get a little bit wrapped up in the woke right. In the infighting. It's infighting, guys. We're infighting. These people are so in, and you're fighting. Why don't we just let them do it? No, we're gonna talk about the woke left. All right, we're gonna be talking about the left, the Democrats, the DSA, what have you. I know we do talk about it, but I the reason why I don't really put too much of an emphasis on quote fighting the left anymore is because they're so ridiculous that I don't think that they're as big of a problem, right? Like where they're actually, I think, and I'm kind of alone, not alone on this. I unpopular opinion. I think that the rise in the more radical wing of the party actually helps us. So what's the famous quote? Was it Napoleon or it was somebody? I think it was Napoleon. Never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake. Okay, that's pretty much been my strategy. Okay, I'm gonna let them keep getting more and more ridiculous, and I think that this news article that just came out, or this poll that just came out, kind of leads my theory to have some weight. Okay, so first of all, let's pay the bills. I have been slacking sometimes. I get a little bit ADD, right? ADD, we talk about that all. Shiny object, squirrel. I get a little. I miss the ads sometimes because I'm supposed to do Patriot Pouch once a week. We kicked it up to twice a week, and we just kicked it up to twice a week. And sometimes I miss it on Monday, and then I'll do it later in the week. So I decided to film an ad, right? And I pre-recorded one. I think it's great. I wrote a script and everything. It's very professional, and there's a QR code in there. So let me know what you guys think. I think I did a pretty good job, but here it comes, all right? Here is our first official pre-recorded ad, and if you want to be a sponsor for the Daily Breakdown, reach out to me. I will send you the ad packages, and we can make one for you. But here it comes, Patriot Pouch. Hey guys, this episode is brought to you by Patriot Pouch. If you're trying to kick nicotine or tobacco products and you don't want to deal with those usual withdrawals, this is something you'll want to check out. Patriot Pouch is a nicotine-free, tobacco-free, and non-carcinogenic pouch. It uses Nixidine, which binds to the same receptors as nicotine, helping curb cravings with a cleaner, better, and smoother effect. One of the best parts, it's less addictive, making it easier to wean yourself off and finally break that habit for good. So, whether you're looking for a simple, healthy alternative to what you're currently doing, or if you're trying to quit smoking, vaping, or even traditional pouches entirely, Patriot Pouch is the choice for you. And unlike a lot of products that claim to be made in the USA, but they're actually produced in places like India or China, Patriot Pouch is 100% made and manufactured right here in America, the greatest country in the world. You can try all 4 flavors with the Sovereign Sample 4-pack, or you can go straight to my personal favorite, Orange You Glad You're an American. Head over to patriotpouchusa.com and use the code MISFIT15 at checkout to get 15% off your order. Or you can also scan the QR code you see on the screen by heading over to my Beacons link. And that is, again, patriotpouchusa.com, code MISFIT15. Go get your Patriot Pouch today. Alrighty, Patriot Pouch, thank you very much for being our first and only, really, sponsor. We have some affiliates, Heartbeat brand, the Heartbeat brand, wearing their hats all the time. Love that company. Though that's an affiliate, so you can see our affiliates up here. You can go to the Beacons link, and you can see all of the affiliates. But Patriot Pouch gets a special ad, and I like it. I like it a lot. I did a good job. If anybody says they don't like it, I will mute you. Anyway, okay. So, let's see here. Also, just while I'm on the subject, quick little update. I gotta fix something over there at the bottom of the screen. I just received, if you look here, it says this account does not exist. That usually brought you to my profile. But if you see here, the handles.x.com, apparently you can request a special handle, and if it's not being used, or if it's being used, or if it's dormant, right, X will give you a handle request. So when I first joined X, the first thing I did was I typed in Misfit Patriot, and what popped up, one of my haters stole that name before I signed up for Twitter at the time, and they were like trying to troll. They were trying to troll me with it. They were like, "Bleh," and I blocked them. But apparently they haven't been using that for quite some time, so I was able to steal it finally. So if you guys look me up now, there will be no underscore. If you look under the cursor here on the screen, it'll say Misfit Patriot underscore. We're gonna fix that. I'm gonna get rid of that little hash dash under whatever the hell it's called. But anyway, just a couple quick little updates, and now let's get back to the show. Okay, so it is 2A Thursday. We got some 2A stuff we're going to talk about, and we're also going to get into the Daily Breakdown. The Daily Breakdown, if you've never seen the show before, I go on the internet, I type in the word news. That's it. I type it in, NEWS. Whatever pops up, we break it down, hence the name, the Daily Breakdown. Middle East crisis. Guys, what am I going to do? What am I going to do here? I'm going to say, this is anything as every other day. It's going to be a Middle East crisis every day in the news until it's over. Please be soon. Trump did come out and say, let's see here. Trump, Iran. And honestly, I love Trump, but this is what Trump said. We are going to, I'll do the naughty button. President Trump, we are going to beat the f***ing out of Iran. Okay. Yeah, I hope so, but also you keep saying this, bro. I love Trump. This is not me being, I'm done with Trump. Show me, don't tell me. Okay? Trump, I love him, but he just keeps on saying, I'm gonna. Dude, you can't do this with radical Islamic terrorists. Because it's like the world thinks you're bluffing. All right? I'm one of your most loyal supporters, and I don't believe you. All right? So do it. Just do it. Don't talk about it. Do it. Go do it. Bridge and power plant day, bomb, 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 bomb. And then I'll turn on the news and I'll be like, holy shit, he did it. All right? But stop the tweets. All right? Because you're losing people. Just do it. Do it. Go. Have fun. I will be behind you. Stop telling me you can do it. All right. I don't care. Okay, yeah. So that's it. You guys know how I feel about these daily. It's the same story. There's no update. It's just like when the Ukraine war was going on for the first year and a half. Every day it was like the Ukraine war is still going on. It's like, okay, anything new, it gets redundant. I don't like it. So we really don't pay too much attention to these stories. Okay, Senate panel from the AP delays vote on Blanche Attorney General nomination as key Republicans withhold support. Oh, I wonder why. John Cornyn speaks during a hearing in the Senate Judiciary Committee. Which Republicans are being douchey? Okay. Todd Blanche's nomination to become Attorney General stalled on Wednesday as lawmakers scrapped a planned committee vote after key Republicans demanded more assurances about the settlement of President Trump's lawsuit against the IRS. Are you shitting me? Are you kidding me, motherfucker? Are you serious, dude? Are you serious? The most American and patriotic thing anyone in this country can do is sue the IRS. And you're like, I'm not going to nominate your guy if you're going after me. You. I don't even know who it... A spokesperson for the committee said in a statement Wednesday night that the vote would be postponed as work continues to secure sufficient support. The delay came hours after negotiations between Cornyn and Thom Tillis over the controversial settlement that afforded Trump and members of his family protections from tax audits. Good. I hope everybody's protected from tax audits. IRS shouldn't exist. You're going to hold up a nomination so you can protect the Theft Bureau? At the center of this fight is a resolution of Trump's $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS. It included a deal to drop tax claims against the president and now scrapped plan to create a 1776 anti-weaponization fund to compensate people. I get it, okay? But you know what? I didn't like this fund, but the lawsuit was because... I think the lawsuit was because they released his tax information. That was ridiculous. He should sue them. He should sue them and he should win. The department said in June it was no longer moving forward with the anti-weaponization fund. Perfect. Good. It was stupid. All right. I get the sentiment behind it, but it was dumb, right? To make that fund. I criticized Trump fairly, called balls and strikes. I said that was dumb. We can do that here. We love Trump, but we can say, hey, no. But as far as his lawsuit should go forward. Sue the IRS into, abolish the IRS. How about that? How about we have that conversation? Abolish the IRS. The most patriotic thing you can do is to screw over the IRS. You should not pay taxes. You should, wink, wink. Obviously, you should follow the law. You should definitely follow the law. But no, if you can, legally, wink, don't pay taxes. If you can legally, wink, don't pay taxes. I have no problem with that. I think that rich people shouldn't pay them. Poor people shouldn't pay them. Nobody should pay them. All right. Cornyn and Tillis have demanded additional assurances. We threw tea into a harbor over 2%. We killed a bunch of people. We killed a bunch of people over 2% on tea. A beverage tax. We murdered thousands. We were like, nah, dude, I will literally end your bloodline if you add 2% to my leafy, hot, soupy tea drink. Were you kidding me? And now we're gonna hold up nominations because Trump wants to rightfully sue the people that tried to throw him in jail or to help throw him in jail. Screw you. I'm just a girl sitting here waiting on Jesus to return. I love this in the chat. Hold on, this is great. I'm W. Wilson. I'm just a girl sitting here waiting on Jesus to return. Too much craziness for me. Amen, sister. All right. Jeez. I'm a little fired up today. I go back to work today too, by the way. Can we take a pause from the show? And can I talk a little? I took remember like a month ago, I was like, I'm going to take some time off of work because I wanted to get a bunch of stuff done. I mean, yeah, there was the midterm cheat sheet and the stuff for the podcast. That only took a few days. I had so much to do. I had my shop. I had to take care of my shop because it's a mess. It looks like an episode of Hoarders. I had to deal with stuff with my truck, like getting my inspection. I had doctor's appointments. I had all these things that I was just pushing off and pushing off and pushing off. And I figured, all right, I'll take two weeks off, maybe 3. It was a month, and I was like, son of a and this always happens, right? Because I had a job that was lined up, and then they moved that job back, which was supposed to start a week and a half ago. So I've had way too much time off. I'm going back to work today for the first time, and I'm excited about it, but I'll show you why I'm excited to go back to work, but I really wish this wasn't the one that I was going back to. All right, let me see here. I know it's not on the screen. Here it is. Okay. So this is what I'm doing today. Ugh. Let's see here. I'm gonna get you guys the weather. All right. So for San Antonio today, by 3 p.m. it will be 96 degrees. By 2 p.m. it will be 95 degrees. Yesterday, I went and looked at this job. So this is it's like an outdoor kitchen area, and I'm going to be tiling this whole wall here, and I'm going to be tiling the front of the kitchen area. This is the rendering. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. But damn, well, they got rid of that. They got rid of this little area, but I'm going to start that today. It's very hot out. It's going to be very, very hot out. So, yeah. I'm wearing shorts. I'm going to do shorts. All right. ADD over. Back to the news. Okay. So, my whole point, my breakdown of this story is the IRS is gay, and screw them, and screw any senator or any congressman who's like, we should protect the IRS over anyone. IRS are thieves. Fire everyone. Okay. Good riddance to the people. I'm not gonna care about that. 4 things. Fauci's diary. We talked about this yesterday. There's there was a few things in that Fauci diary that I wanted to cover yesterday, and there was 3 parts of the diary that were very damning for Fauci. Criminal, I would say objectively criminal. He lied about the origins. He knew about. There was only 2 out of the 12 scientists that were working at NIH that thought that the virus originated from a bat or animal to human transmission. In Fauci's diary, the two that he acknowledged both worked on gain-of-function research. The other 10 scientists said that there was no way. It was definitely originated from a lab or something like that. And Fauci knew about that, but yet he still went on TV and said, no, bat. It came from a bat. He knew that. He should definitely go to jail. He definitely should be in prison for the rest of his life. Because he's pardoned, I think that he will get away with it. I don't like it, but I think he's going to get away with it. It sucks. I hope that we can lock him up, but Hillary Clinton got away with smashing her frickin' laptop and bleach bitting her hard drive and smashing her phones, and sometimes people just get away with things. And look, here's the deal. I don't think that you should let that really dissuade you from no justice happens, right? Because I've said this before. I don't care if they go to jail, because one day they're going to die, and on that day they're going to be judged, and it's not going to be by men. It's going to be they're going to be weighed and measured, and I think I know where they're going. So It's a very short time we have here on this little spinning rock. They got a long time to be punished after. So just take a little bit of comfort in that. All right. Let's see here. There was a couple other things. School closures. Um, yeah, there was a couple things. You know what I'll do? I'll put those together for tomorrow, so that we can go over it, because there was two other ones, and I just forgot to put them in the rundown today. Like I said, I just go in and I type news when I'm breaking down the show. Oops, sorry. When I'm putting together the show, I wasn't planning on that. Okay. 8 killed and 50 injured across Ukraine as Russia launches massive ballistic missile drone attacks. I mean, Ukraine and Russia, the war zone, it's been going on forever. It's like something like 7,000 people die a week in that war, and nobody talks about that. People always talk about the freaking Palestinians. Okay. Okay. And I don't know what this is. What is the Lindsay Clancy murder trial? Clancy is charged with three counts of first-degree murder in the deaths. Oh, this is the woman that killed her kids. Attends court in a wheelchair because she was paralyzed after trying to take her own life that night. Prosecutors allege the murders were planned, while defense argues Clancy was over-medicated and suffering from extreme postpartum psychosis. Don't care. Don't care. You killed babies. Death penalty. Patrick Clancy on Wednesday described what happened the night of the murders. He described finding blood all over his bedroom and discovering Lindsay on the ground outside. I haven't paid too close attention to this trial, but from what I remember, this lady killed her 3 children, and one of them was 8 months old. She claimed postpartum depression. I don't care. I don't care if you were over medicated and depressed. Don't kill your kids. So hope I think this one's gonna end. I don't know if do they have the death penalty in the. Oh no, in Massachusetts they don't. I'm from Massachusetts, so she's not gonna get the death penalty, but she should. Duxbury. I'm from Dedham Hyde Park area, but Duxbury, I've been to Duxbury. It's kind of gay. All right. Let's go. Let's go into Nope. Whoever left 3 kids alone with her should also be prosecuted. I don't know. I'd have to look at the case of that. I'd have to look at the details of that. I don't think so. I think people usually assume that mothers aren't going to murder their babies. So I think that they can be left alone with them. Unless there's some weird detail of the case that I'm not privy to, but whoever left her 3 kids alone with her, that's their mother. They should be able to leave them alone with her. I don't think you'd walk out of the door and be like, "Hope you don't kill the kids today. I better stick around." So I don't know. It's a crappy situation for sure. Look into it. Everyone knew she was sick and on all kinds of medications. Yeah, all right. Well, like I said, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. But I don't know. I mean, I guess I'd have to look into it. If what you're saying is true and everyone knew she was depressed and everything like that, I think that if it would have to be like wild, like maybe you're right. I'd have to look into it. All right. Okay. Moving on. Let's see here. Okay, so this is from Gutfeld. It's a 5-minute clip. We're not going to play the whole thing. We're just going to play the beginning because I was going to cover this the other day, and for some reason I didn't. I watched this live. I remember I was driving home from looking at a couple of jobs, and this was Shannon Bream was interviewing one of the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America, um, administrators or people in charge. And if you haven't seen this clip yet, wow. I appreciate the honesty, but check this out.
So the Democrats have a socialism problem. The problem, it won't shut up.
Abolish the Senate.
True.
Okay. Replace the presidency and Supreme Court as we now know them.
Yep.
Abolish ICE.
Absolutely.
Abolish borders and give amnesty to anyone currently in the U.S. illegally.
As a long-term plan, yep.
Defund the Pentagon.
Absolutely.
Abolish prisons, at least in large part.
Jesus.
Yeah, again, that as part of a long-term program, yeah.
Okay, so no prisons. Government
Okay,
or
so
public
no
ownership of most large corporations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, I'm starting to think DSA doesn't stand for Democratic Socialists of America, but dumb, stupid assholes.
Okay. So, look, this is what I was just saying earlier. I don't see this as a problem, right? Like, I mean, yes, obviously it's scary that these people even exist. Okay, it's very scary these people exist. It's very, very scary that we have Mamdani in New York City, the largest city in the world, or sorry, the largest city in the country, running the largest city in the country. But I replied to Bernie Sanders here. Why are billionaires so panicked by Abdul El-Said? The Democratic Senate primary in Michigan is much more than a campaign between Congresswoman Haley Stevens and Said. It's part of an ongoing struggle between the oligarchy. I know Sean does it better. Shut up. And the grassroots progressive. They call it grassroots. Screw you. There's so much money in the DSA. It's not grassroots at all. It's about whether we can create a government that represents all Americans. As of today, billionaire-funded outside groups led by AIPAC have spent a record-breaking $50 million on Haley Stevens, roughly 60-1 advantage over Al-Said. Now look, this is my problem with AIPAC. Okay, they endorse Democrats to stop other Democrats who hate Jews, right? And look, that they should, okay? Legally they should. But they're just like every other PAC, okay? They do have influence, and it's proven right here. They have influence, and they don't have the they don't endorse only Republican or conservative candidates, right? I don't know if Haley Stevens is necessarily a DSA, but she's still a Democrat, right? And obviously, yeah, I'm like, hey, if you're gonna do lesser of two evils, sure, I'll still say okay. But when people talk about AIPAC, it's like, okay, they donate to Hakeem Jeffries, all right? It's like, I can't really say like I like that organization. They do get in on both sides. But in this case, glad they do. Glad they do, because we should all be trying to make sure El-Said does not become an elected representative. So why are billionaires so panicked by Said? Why are they so desperate to see him defeated? It's not complicated. A win by Abdul, following recent progressive victories, will make it clear that the American people are tired of the establishment. Okay. My response: why are billionaires against a guy who said if he got elected, he's going to steal their money by increasing taxes? And why is AIPAC against a guy who defended members of the Muslim Brotherhood? El-Said, the Democrat socialist, whatever, communist, Islamo-Marxist, he defended Muslim Brotherhood terrorists, right? He's Mamdani. Right. A Muslim Democrat socialist in New York just doxed wealthy New Yorkers, threatened to arrest a world leader, and then told people to take to the streets if that didn't work, to send a message that even a world leader, and an ally to the United States should be afraid to step into the largest city in America because a free Palestine mob will be waiting for him. If that's how democratic socialists use their power after being elected, billionaires, Zionists, Israelis, their supporters, they shouldn't be the only ones that are trying to keep him out of office. Every single American who values their freedom should be fighting against a candidate that's either a Democrat or a Democratic Socialist, right? Because look, we just watched that Democratic Socialist lady say, here's our intentions, okay? Our intentions are to open the border, abolish the Senate, abolish prisons. What? They're going to abuse their power. They're saying if you elect me, I'm going to abuse my power. They like the positions that these people fill are supposed to be for limited power, and it's not supposed to be something where they get in and they go, how can I radically change America? It's how can I represent America, right? America is not changing. The Democratic Socialists are a very small percentage of the population. Like trans is 1%, less than 1% of the country, and it's one of their biggest platforms. Illegal immigrants are not Americans. It's one of their biggest platforms, right? They are not representatives. They are authoritarians. They are not constitutionalists. They are anarchists. So why would billionaires want to stop a Islamo-Marxist after seeing Mamdani dox a bunch of rich people, put them on a list? Why would they not want that? I don't know, common sense. Why would AIPAC be jumping in, the American Israeli Political Action Committee? Why would they be jumping in and trying to stop al-Said, a Muslim Democratic Socialist, after Mamdani, a Muslim Democratic Socialist, just said, I will arrest the leader of the only free state that is Jewish in the world? What? Bernie, do you need me to spell this out for you? Do you want me to draw it in crayon? It's not hard to figure out. Because we don't want communists. You know what? I love this comment right here. While we just sit around and talk about it. Okay. Thank you for that segue. Because we shouldn't just sit around and talk about it. All right? I'm putting in this thing called action. Okay? I try to talk about this more. I've been slacking. So, if for those of you that already know, the midterm cheat sheet is live. And the midterm cheat sheet website is live, and Misfits midterm cheat sheet on Sway is available. All right. What are these? Well, the midterm cheat sheet is going to be where you can go and find out who you should be electing in the midterms so that we, the Republicans, GOP, not Democrats, pretty much, keep the House, keep the Senate, and stop these people, right? This doesn't seem like much, but it's something. I'm not just sitting around and talking about it. I'm actually doing. All right, now on midterm cheat sheet, I still have to add about 12 more races on here, but this is a good starting point. And you can also go to Sway, which is what I was just showing you on the screen. So sway.co/the misfit, or sway.co/misfits is where you can go and join the Misfits midterm cheat sheet. The beacons link right here. There's also, I made this little QR code. This is for a Patriot Pouch, but it'll bring you right to my beacons. So if you want to join Sway, you can scan the QR code on your screen. You can go to sway.co/misfits. And what is Sway? Sway is essentially a messaging app where all of the people that join, so we have 113 members. We only have 8 states left to fill. I'll be able to send out text messages and emails to keep everyone updated on how they can help get out the vote, right? Again, it's not much, but it's something. It's not just sitting around and talking about it. It's actually putting into action something that we can do. So join Sway, join my group, and if you don't want to just, quote, sit around and talk about it, there you go. That's how we fix this. We get involved. That's all. And we're gonna add somebody to this. That's coming up. I don't want to jump ahead of myself. But again, focusing on the woke left, California is now giving taxpayer-funded meth pipes to the homeless. Great.
This is a meth pipe. I didn't get it from a drug dealer or
Did you get it from Hunter Biden?
Hunter Biden. I got it from a government-funded nonprofit in the middle of Los Angeles for free. This is the Skid Row
didn't
Care
even know he was
Campus.
gonna say
it
that.
opened last year with a mission to do harm reduction. That might sound nice, but in reality, they're handing out drug paraphernalia to the homeless, no questions asked. We went inside with a hidden camera to see exactly what was going on.
We have oil burners, we have spray food, we have petroleum jelly.
It's simple. The staff gives out free pipes, needles, and drug supplies, and the homeless smoke crack and shoot fentanyl in the courtyard. No treatment, no rehab, no rules. The worst part about all this is that you're paying for it. Last year, local, state, and federal taxpayers sent $26 million to the Skid Row Care Campus. So your money is being used to fund left-wing activists and provide free meth pipes to the homeless. And it doesn't even work. They say they're practicing harm reduction, but last year there were uncountable overdoses, 4 murders, and more than 1,000 police calls right around the campus. President Trump needs to make it stop. The federal government shouldn't send another dime to this Skid Row death machine.
I agree with that, but at the same time, it's not Trump's fault. Yes, I agree that Trump should cut off any federal funding, every
This is a
single
meth
penny,
pipe.
right? You take away every single federal dollar from any state with a sanctuary city in it, or any city, or at all, period. Okay? I agree with that. But this is not Trump's fault. This is not Trump's fault, right? The power of the presidency, the supremacy clause shouldn't be like the president gets to decide how states are run. He dictates federal policy, and I get it. But California, like New York, California, Chicago, Massachusetts. These places, they do everything they can to undercut the federal government. They create these sanctuary cities, separating themselves from the federal government. So, I mean, yes, I agree that Trump should say, okay, if you want to separate yourself, let's separate yourself. You can run your own stuff, no money for you. But at the same time, I don't think that this is Trump's fault or he can do too much about it. I think that the way that this is fixed is locally, right? Like you have to, and yes, with California and some other states, it's the fraud is in our elections, it's in our institutions, it's so deep that it's going to take a lot of work to undo it. And Trump and whoever is in charge, whoever's in the federal government is in charge, they should push to create Save America Act, to have the project that JD Vance is working on, where uncovering fraud. Yes, but it's like this is their problem, right? Let them fix it, and I don't know how you incentivize that. I didn't want to leave the woke right out entirely. So James Fishback, this guy's a clown. He really is. He's such a clown. He's not winning. He's running in Florida. He's a complete and utter clown. He's like Valentina Gomez. But anyway, he is running for governor of Florida. I think he's polling at 3%. So, but I just think it's funny how this is the messaging of the woke right. This is like he's a groyper, like a Nick Fuentes supporter. There is no such thing as a, quote, private beach. As governor, I'll make every Florida beach open to the public. What he means is he wants to seize private property, and the government will own it, right? How is this any different than what Mamdani is proposing? It's not, right? This is why the woke right and the woke left are the same thing. They are authoritarians. They are not conservatives. They don't want to conserve. They want to change. Libertarians align with the woke right because they're anarchists. They want more power and control while telling you it's actually about less power and control. It's like, no, no, no. Just give me power and we'll fix it. How about no? How about no? How about no? All right. On to this story from the thumbnail margin of error. Okay. This is positive. This is a very positive development. Okay. New York GOP governor candidate Bruce Blakeman trails Hochul by just 4 points in a shocking new poll. 4 points in New York for a Republican governor is massive. This could be the end of Hochul. If we can get this guy elected, it would be a huge gap stop on Mamdani, right? This has now become probably the most important race in this country. Because if Bruce Blakeman gets in and beats Kathy Hochul, he will be able to put some handcuffs on Mamdani. All right? And look, I've said this before. I said, hey, I think that New York should have everything they want, right? You want your socialism? Have it. Let's watch it burn, right? Everybody get out. But at the same time, I love this country. I don't want to see that, right? I'm just saying, like, hey, I'd rather you crash out faster. But at the same time, I'm always going to want the better, more responsible, more American elected representative who loves this country to be in charge, right? And that would be Blakeman. So here's what we're going to do. Let's see if anybody joined the Misfit midterm cheat sheet. And you did not, you sons of bitches. All right, who do we got in New York? Do we got New York? New York, where's, can I hover over New York? No? Okay. Let's see here. Let's go to New York. Oop, New York governor. So this is how the midterm cheat sheet works. All right. New York governor. We are going to add the New York governor race to the midterm cheat sheet. And we are going to go here, hover over Bruce A. Blakeman, and we are done. Okay, so now on the midterm cheat sheet, we're going to go down here. Show all guides. Alaska, Florida, Maine, North Carolina. Come on, where is it? We just put it on there. Where is it? New York general election. We have 7 voters. 7 in New York. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to send out messaging to these 7 people on the midterm cheat sheet. And you guys can, I'll send you, hey, here's Bruce Blakeman's, campaign website. You can either donate, you can share it, you can get out messaging. Here's his how to campaign, how to door knock, how to just go help, right? It's just me messaging you on how you can help because you live there. You have more impact. I'm just the guy moving all the pieces around. That's what the midterm cheat sheet is all about, right? We got Mike Lawler on here too for the New York 17th. Again, I got to add about 12 more races to the midterm cheat sheet, which is here. And that is, click here to see the cheat sheet. So we will add Blakeman on here, and we will add the ones that Chase Bowes recommended. But this is just these are the essential races that we can win. Winnable races only end up on the website. All the races end up on the cheat sheet. So we can do this, guys. We can win. We can get our head in the game. We can get ground game together. I'll help you. You help me. Let's save America. Because we're not going to save America with the Save America Act. It's pretty much too late. We have probably 5 days. They're going to go on recess. It's over, right? It's not over like as it's never going to pass. It's just not going to pass before the midterms. How do we win? Too big to rig. How do we make it too big to rig? Ground game. How do we do ground game? Right here. I'm showing you. All right. I agree with you, Zach. Let them live with what they asked for. Yes. Yeah, I know. I mean, look, I don't like it, but it is what it is. Okay. So Blakeman slams Hochul. Let's check out this article. MTA boss. Okay, Republican gubernatorial candidate Bruce Blakeman railed against Kathy Hochul for soaring MTA spending, but he stood by the hardworking people in the Transit Agency Labor Union. Blakeman, who's serving as the Nassau County executive, said the MTA, estimated at almost $300 million in 2027 and $500 million in 2028, should be blamed on Hochul and her MTA boss. We don't have a revenue problem, we have a spending problem, Blakeman told reporters. And what Kathy Hochul has done is she's blaming the hardworking people who work for the MTA. So let's see here. Blakeman has stood by the high-earning union LIRR union workers when they went on strike, despite being offered a generous 4.5% raise of their salaries, averaging $136,000 per year. The salaries did not include overtime. Okay, it's just like the state government. Blakeman said they keep taking more and more money from people, and so this is just one out of many issues that New Yorkers are facing under Democrat leadership. I hope I'm right about this. I think that there's going to be a stay home movement. I don't know if we're at the point where there's going to be a walk away movement on the left. I think that's coming, but I think it's too early for that. But I said this before Mamdani even put his hand on the Quran. It's wild. Right? Not the Bible. He put his hand on the Quran when he swore in. But I said that before he even did that, I said, give it time. This is going to create a walkaway movement. I think I'm right about that. I don't think it's going to happen this year. But I think when it keeps getting progressively worse, it will. And Blakeman won't even be able to slow down Mamdani that much. But he will be able to show contrast, and contrast is key, right? If you have all of the redder areas of New York thriving, and then you have this blue dot in the middle that's just garbage, people will see the contrast. Under Kathy Hochul's leadership, people will not see the contrast. They will think that that's normal. It's not. So, pay attention to this race. Get this out there. Make sure you are saying Bruce Blakeman, Bruce Blakeman, Bruce Blakeman. Post it on your social media. Make sure that we knock this number down from 4 points to 2 points, from 2 points to 1 point, from 1 point to 0 points, and then let's get him in the lead. Because if we've learned anything, it's that usually polls favor the Republican, right? So usually polls are swayed in the direction of the Republican. And right now, 4 points is within the margin of error. So he can win. This became a winnable race, and it's a very, very important race. If New York governor turns red, that's a positive sign. That's a positive development. And that actually will be kind of like a litmus test on whether or not we're going to accept the rise in the woke radical left, or we're going to reject it. And I think that we're going to reject it. All right. Now, 2A Thursday. All right, this is an old one, but we're going to cover this because I found this story when I was doing my 2A Thursday research. And this is funny. Right, this is from an account on X, right? With the mass shooting at the Seattle Center, it might be good to mention that Bill Clinton's assault weapons ban reduced mass shootings deaths by nearly half. But after George Bush and the Republicans let it expire, mass shooting deaths more than doubled because it's the guns. Screenshot since it's got a paywall. Okay. So this is from Claveris, who defines gun massacre to be 6 or more deaths, says his own research for the book Rampage Nation backs up Clinton's statement. Compared to the 10-year period before the ban, the number of gun massacres, so stupid, during the ban period fell by 37%, and the number of people dying from mass shootings fell by 43%. But after the ban lapsed, the numbers in the next 10-year period shot up again. 183% increase in mass shootings and 239% increase in deaths. Okay. So, let's debunk that real quick. The federal government's own study concluded that its ban on assault weapons did not reduce gun violence, all right? Other studies, including 2 published in 2020, reached similar conclusions. There's so much evidence that this is just a BS talking point. Right here, you have the mass shooting incidents and fatalities. The assault weapons ban did not really decrease any of those because the demographics, the target demographics, the places where they had the gun bans, they increased, and the places where there was lower crime, the places that there was lower crime increased, and they pretty much stayed the same where they had already strict gun laws. State of Washington has a ban, and that didn't work either. The state of Washington has an assault weapons ban on April 25th, 2023. Governor Jay Inslee signed House Bill 1240, making Washington the 10th state in the U.S. to prohibit the sale, manufacture, and importation of assault weapons. Law defines assault weapons as a specific list of over 60 named firearms or any semi-automatic rifle under 30 inches with features like a detachable grip or high-capacity magazine. Legal challenges have been filed by groups such as the Firearms Policy Coalition and the Second Amendment Foundation, but the courts have repeatedly upheld the law. All right. So let's look at the claim. Relies on selective, outdated, and methodologically weak interpretation of data that has been widely criticized. The assault weapons ban did not cut mass shooting deaths by nearly in half in any rigorous sense, and the post-ban increase is not cleanly attributed to the ban's expiration. What the ban actually did: the assault weapons ban banned the manufacture and sale of certain rifles. It grandfathered in existing guns and magazines. It expired under President Bush. The talking point, the talking point traces primarily to analysis in a Washington Post piece. Okay, so it's basically just opinion. When researchers use consistent, transparent, and definitions across longer periods, the sharp having then doubling pattern disappears. Mass public shootings were already uncommon. Broader gun homicide, this is the part that I was looking for. Broader gun homicide and overall violent crime trends moved for many reasons and had little to do with the assault weapons ban. And finally, this is a good one. All right, so this is just something, that meme that we've all seen. After they took their guns away, Castro murdered 100,000 unarmed civilians. Hitler murdered 6 million unarmed civilians. Stalin murdered 50 million unarmed civilians, and Mao murdered 60 million. Every time they have taken guns away, mass death has followed. But this is from the National Center for Health Statistics. Okay, the assault weapons 364. Medical error, 251,454. All right. So we have way more deaths from things like medical error which is an issue that I'd say that 251,454, I'd say that's a bigger problem than 364. But they don't care about fixing the medical system so that we have less medical deaths, accidental medical deaths. They only care about assault weapons because, once again, it's really about this. It's really about, let's take away their guns so they can't fight back. That's what it's always going to be about. That's why it's always imposed by the left. The left has always been the mask used by authoritarians before they murder people. The National Socialist German Workers' Party. Remember, that's the name of the Nazi Party. The National Socialist German Workers' Party. It's always the left. The Red-Green Alliance. Who did the Islamists partner up with before Khomeini took power and turned Iran into a shithole that is just a terrorist proxy country? Socialists, progressives, leftists. When you see democratic socialists, right, what you're seeing is Nazi. You're seeing communist. You're seeing Leninist. You're seeing Islamist. You're seeing totalitarian, authoritarian, I'm going to kill you. That's what you're seeing. Maduro. What party did Maduro start in? Yeah, socialist. Communist. Cuba. Anybody blowing up a hefty bag in Miami and floating to Cuba? No, they're floating away from Cuba. There's only two communist countries in the entire world, Cuba and Laos. Two actual, true communist leadership run by communists, Cuba and Laos. I mean, there's the Communist Party in China, but there's only two actual countries. In both countries, Cuba and Laos, people risk drowning to death by leaving, by floating on rafts across this vast body of water, and they drown. Thousands of people drown, leaving communism just to escape. So don't give me this bullshit about how it's guns. It's not guns. All right. So let's see here. I think we just covered everything. Do I have anything else on here? No, I do not. I literally just covered everything. So another quick reminder just before I let you go. The Misfits, if one person signed up, whoever you were, I love you. I love you. Whoever just signed up for Misfits midterm cheat sheet, you the best. Make sure you go and head over to Misfits midterm cheat sheet. You can use the Beacons link here. Let me just go ahead and shave this down. This is a good idea. We'll get rid of this. There you go. All right. Misfits midterm cheat sheet. You can find it on my Beacons link. All right. The Beacons link QR code is on the screen. It is 9 o'clock, so Sean Farish is coming up next with Ungoverned. Let's do a quick shout out. Bad Moon 001. One Sandman, Neemac Jack, Draco Americanus. That says anus at the. That says anus. I'm sure that was an oversight. I think it says American U.S., but you might want to put a capital U right there. Americanus. Import Grease Monkey, On the Edge, Great Guy Gary, Roadrunner 513. All right, boys and girls, my time is up. I'm off to work. Sucks. But I will see you tomorrow for Fan Mail Friday.